Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I just left Tanya's house. We were laying on the couch. She was laying on one side, I was laying on the other, and her husband was asleep in the recliner. And we were talking about all kinds of random stuff, and we were like whispering to each other. And she goes, what are you gonna vlog about tonight? And I said, I don't have any idea. She was like, how do you know what you're gonna vlog about? I said, Tanya, I never have any idea. And then I got out to my car, and I'm so tired. It is 11:57. I've been going all day long, and I think I'm gonna go to bed early tonight, which for me early is like between 1 and 2. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna vlog about tonight. Could it be, I got a cup of coffee, she asked me if I wanted a fountain, so I took her to get a fountain drink, and I got a cup of coffee instead. I got this 24-ounce coffee from the gas station, and it's like doing the opposite, which caffeine does often for me. It makes me tired. And I'm like, could it be that I have run out of things to talk about after 3 years on my vlog? Have I run out of things? I mean, no, obviously not. I could talk for Lisa's 3 hour. Lisa keeps on begging for a 3-hour vlog. Lisa, I promise you, sometime in 2020, you will get your 3-hour vlog. My water, I'm trying to drink more water. Hold on a second. But my water cup back here. Oh, no, that's a different one. I have so many I have this, and then I have this that was filled with water earlier, and then I have another cup back here. It's a gold cup that I've been drinking water in. I've been trying to drink so much water. So, yeah. So I've been like filling up water when I leave, and but the problem is I have to go to the bathroom constantly. So anyway, I will give Lisa, and everybody else that's requested it, their 3-hour vlog sometime this year. It won't be tonight, I can tell you that. I am so tired. I think since I got my new prescription for my contacts, like my eyes seem more tired. I don't know if they're maybe still getting adjusted to the new prescription or something. But I'm like, my eyes are tired a lot more. So, Peter, what did you do today? Well, today I got up. I had a massive, massive migraine when I woke up today. So I like let the dogs out, and I was kind of like uploading my vlog and just kind of doing some other stuff. And I was like, I'm going back to bed for a little bit. So I got Boo and Tucker, and we went back into bed. And they were so cute, and got them back into bed. I was telling Tanya about this tonight, and I talked to Alex about this last night. I really think, I think I'm more sad about PP being gone than I even maybe recognize. I just catch myself like throughout the day just getting like really sad. And I've been really tired lately, and I also think it's probably like just the winter, and it's, you know, gloomy outside and all that, but I just like don't feel super motivated. I still have been getting a lot of stuff done. I just try to kind of push through that, you know, but I think like I'm just really sad, and I think maybe I don't recognize it how it is, if that makes sense, you know, and it's just little things. I do this thing before I go to bed at night where I look at pictures and videos of PP, and so it kind of like brings it all back up to me again. And I don't know. I thought I was like doing better, I guess. And then it kind of like took a toll on me yesterday and today. Today was a hard day. I was really missing him today. And Tucker's becoming kind of like, I guess like my new little best friend. He follows me around everywhere. You know, Boo Radley just like sleeps in his house all day long. He just goes, I'll take them out, and then he'll wander around for a little bit. He's just such a loner that he'll wander around for a little bit. And now Like, he's either upstairs on the bed sleeping, or he's down in his house sleeping. It's great. But Tucker follows me around constantly. He's like, sits on the ottoman while I'm filming videos. Sometimes sits next to me, but not very often. He typically sits on the ottoman, and he just like puts his little head there and stares at me. And so he's kind of doing a lot of what Pee-Pee did before. It's kind of sad at night. Like, Tucker always, I've talked about this a lot on here. You know, Boo sleeps between Alex and I's head. He like gets in this small little circle, and he sleeps in between Alex and I's head, between the pillows. But Tucker and Pee-Pee would stay up like really late, and they would, you know, play with plush toys, and they would lick the bed and lick their toys and all kinds of stuff. And they would stay up late. Like, I would be falling asleep, and I could see them at the end of the bed. And now Tucker just goes to sleep. Like, he just comes like up between Alex and I, kind of like halfway, and he just rolls into a little circle, and then he goes to sleep. And I think he kind of doesn't know what to do. I think it's hard to tell if a dog is sad. I don't know if he's sad. He just seems kind of lost. And like, him and Boo Radley still pal around, but like, they'll come in from going outside. You know, it's interesting because like, Boo Radley for a long time was always the dog that wanted to play and like chase, you know, the other like Tucker and Pee-Pee around. And for a long time, it kind of was like, you know, Boo Radley was the baby, and he was like driving his brothers crazy a little bit. But now, like, I'll bring them in, and like, Tucker will just like charge Boo Radley, like he wants to wrestle, and wrestle. And who used to always say wrestle? I don't know why. Maybe that was my mom. Maybe it was my dad. I don't know. But anyway, like, he'll like charge him, like he wants to like play with, you know, like play wrestle with them, play wrestle with them. And Boo Radley will kind of like be like, arr, like he doesn't want any part of it. Like, he doesn't want to like play like that. And so then Tucker will try again, and then he just kind of stops. And then Boo Radley just kind of like walks away, like, leave me alone. And I don't know, it's kind of sad. I feel bad for Tucker. And Tucker's just like always like right by my side now these days. He's like always, whatever I'm doing, Tucker's doing, and he's always right there. And so I wish his teeth were better. I would get him some bones so he had something to do while I'm sitting there. I just feel like he's kind of bored. They go outside 1,000 times a day. Tucker's presence next to me, I think, reminds me of Alex. Reminds me of Pee-Pee's absence. And I think that's kind of it, but it's like, I don't, like, when I think about Pee-Pee, like, I start really thinking about him. Like, it's so surreal to me that he's gone, that it just like sinks me into like such a place that I just like start like bawling immediately. And I'm just like, I don't know. And I think that's grief, you know. I'm a big believer in just feeling whatever you're going through, feeling the pain, feeling the grief, and allowing yourself to feel it, not judging yourself for it. So I did that, and then my head hurt so bad that, like, I think it was around maybe like 3:30 or 4. It just would not, my headache would not, my migraine wouldn't go away. And I just was like, I just don't think I'm gonna make videos today. I just didn't think that I could sit down and actually film. My head was hurting so bad. So I went and I got a coffee. And what else did I do? I had to run a couple errands. Ran a couple errands. And then I came home, and I was kind of just like hanging out and stuff. Oh, so we went over to Alex's brother's house tonight, and for my nephew's birthday, and it was really nice, and it was fun. It was me and Alex, his grandma. He had to pick up his grandma because his mom didn't get done with work until later. His mom came later. She got him a bike. He was so excited. And I got him a bunch of those Ryan's Toys things. They're obsessed with that, Ryan's Toy stuff. And then Liliana and Carlos. It was nice. We sat and they played music and of course danced. And then they had cake. They had 2 different kinds of cake. He picked out his own cake that he wanted. It was fun. They're having like a birthday party for him this weekend. So it was just like a family thing tonight. It was nice. So I met Alex over there because Alex had to do work stuff all day. And I filmed like a Peterisms video before that. And I filmed, you know what was so funny is that, so last night when I was vlogging, I was like talking about how I hadn't, was it last night I think? That I hadn't put up my Peterisms video yet. And so when I got home, I like put it up, and I put it up late. It was like after 11 o'clock when I put it up. And I thought, I won't get any views on this video, like because I put it up so late, you know? And I was like, whatever, people will come back and watch it later maybe. And like when I was looking at that channel today, I was like, the video had like 1,000 views on it. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. I mean, for that channel, like that's a good amount of views for that, for a video on my Peterisms channel. I was like, oh my God, that is crazy that like in 12 hours or less than 24 hours, you know, that video got like, because I posted it so late, I didn't think anybody would see it. So I filmed a drama video for my drama channel. And then about Shane Dawson's like deleted blooper footage. He put it up on his Shane Dawson channel. And then I filmed a Peterisms video, and I was gonna do a review, but it was getting kind of late. And I wanted to get over to Carlos and Liliana's. So I just was like, I'll make the rest, I'll film more tomorrow. So I got that stuff done, and then, was that it? I feel like that was it. Yeah, that was it. And then I went over there and I hung out with them, and then I didn't go to the meeting tonight because of the family thing. So Tanya wanted to know if I wanted to get a fountain Coke afterwards, and so I was like, yeah, sure. And so when Alex was leaving, I was like, I'm gonna go over and get a fountain pop with Tanya, and then I'm gonna vlog because I want to be home and go to bed like kind of early for, you know, for me. And he was like, okay. I was kind of surprised he hasn't texted me yet. He's been home for a while, and I thought he would like, he usually always texts me and says, good night, babe. So I'm kind of surprised. Can you hear my cups in the background? I was kind of surprised he hasn't texted me yet and said he was going to bed, but whatever. So yeah, so it was an okay day. I want to listen to a little bit of my audiobook too before I go to bed. I have like exactly 2.5 hours left of it, and I really want to finish it. I bought 2 more books on Audible today, you guys. I got the one about the DC shooter because Mel and I wanted to read that for this month for the True Crime Book Club, but it's an Audible exclusive. I think it's called like I Am God or something like that. And I remember that happening, but I don't know enough. I don't know that much about it. So I ended up getting that audiobook because I kind of wanted it anyway, and I had like my 2 new credits came through. By the way, I just have to say, I was like watching this As Told by Kenya video. I don't know if you guys know her, but she's like a commentary channel. I really like her videos. And people say she shouts, which she does. She even said in her video today, she's like, I shout, but not me. She was referring to herself. But anyway, her videos are, she has like really good commentary. I think they're like very well thought out, and I like her points of view on things. And she just kind of has this attitude too, like, this is my point of view, you don't have to agree with it, but it's my point of view. But she got an Audible sponsorship, and I was like, oh my God, I talk about Audible on literally every single one of my channels. At this point, it's not even about me getting an Audible sponsorship to get paid. I could care less about that. It's about the fact that I like love Audible, I think more than anybody in the entire world. I literally talk about Audible all the time, okay? I talk about it on this channel. I talk about it on my Peter Monn channel. I talk about it on my Peterisms channel. I talk about it on my BookTube channel, obviously. I talk about it on my review channel. I talk about Audible all the time, right? And it's like, and she is, I will say this, one of the things that I love about her, I was actually watching her, I was like, she should start a BookTube channel. But anyway, she she is doing this thing where she's like reading a book, and you can like, I think it's on her Patreon, where you can like read books with her. She started like a reading, like a follow, like read so many books or whatever, and she's currently reading, what did she say? The Crawdads book by Delia Owens that I've had on my book list forever and I haven't read. I think I'm gonna wait till the spring now to read that, but it's been on like the bestseller list forever. I know when I read that book, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, this is the best book in the entire world, because every time a book comes out that like everybody's told me to read and I don't read it forever, it ends up being like one of the best books I've ever read. So I'm sure that will be the case with, Where the Crawdads Sing is what it's called, by Delia Owens. But anyway, she and I share a lot of the same interest in books. So, anyway. I like Kenya. She and I share a lot of the same opinions about some things. And obviously a love of books, too. And she has a Goodreads and everything. She's like, you can follow me on Goodreads. I went and followed her on Goodreads. Which, let me just tell you, I rarely ever do. Like, I get tons of friend requests on Goodreads and I accept them all. So if you're on Goodreads, send me a friend request and I'll accept it. I always do. But like, I very, very, very rarely ever go in and like request somebody as a friend on, because like all the booktubers that I watch, I already follow them on Goodreads. And a few bookstagrammers. So other than that, there's not really anybody else that I, you know. I've been wanting to do some stuff with my booktube channel for a while, and it's always like the last thing I have planned to do every day. That I think going into February, I need to make a concerted effort that my booktube channel is going to be a priority for me. Like, that's one of the things I really want to get back to doing, is making my booktube channel a priority. I have so many ideas for discussion videos over there. There's a lot of tags I want to do, which tag videos, I don't know if you know, they're basically questions. I have hauls I want to do that I need to do. I want to do an Audible haul. I've bought so many Audible books and I haven't, you know, done a haul over there, so I need to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I still need to do my best and my worst of 2019. I can't even believe I haven't done those books yet, or those videos yet. And then I'm always talking about like wanting to make my Bookstagram more like, you know, user-friendly and whatever, or not user-friendly, but like I want to be more active on it. And I can tell you, the last time I posted a picture on Bookstagram was when we were in Mexico in April. And I posted a picture of, what's that book called? The Other Woman, I think it's called, or something like that. And it was by the pool. And I was really going to start doing stuff on Instagram too. And now look, it's like I haven't posted a picture on Instagram since we were like leaving Mexico, I think. I think that's just kind of where, like, I don't know, I need to get excited about stuff again. Like, I am excited about stuff like listening to books and watching shows and stuff, but now I'm like kind of obsessed with watching shows. Like, I watched like 2 episodes of AJ and the Queen, that the RuPaul show. I really like that show actually now. Like, I didn't like it when I first started it, but I'm kind of really into it now. So I really like doing that stuff, but then like my motivation for getting a lot of other stuff done has kind of fallen to the wayside. And it's like I have all these ideas of things that I want to do, and I like jot them down and I take notes and whatever, but then they don't come to fruition. And I need to take time to just get that stuff done that I want to do, because I have so many ideas. I kind of go through periods though too where I feel more motivated than other times. The problem with me is like, I'm not a perfectionist. There's some things that I'm a perfectionist about, but like in getting stuff done in life, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm, where am I out of time? I wouldn't necessarily say that I am a perfectionist, but I'm definitely an ideas person where I have like all this stuff that I want to do. And I'm like, okay, but where am I, like, you know, where am I getting to it or whatever? And, you know, like with Bookstagram, I always feel like I have all these pictures and things that I think I want to do, but I always look at it and I'm like, well, if I'm not currently reading that book, then I don't want to post about that book on Bookstagram. But like all of these people that I follow on Bookstagram, whose Bookstagrams I love, like Books and Lala, I love her Bookstagram, and I mean, she's my favorite booktuber of life. But like Robbie Reeds is another one too, is kind of a friend of mine, and his Bookstagram is beautiful, and he uses like the same filter for every picture, and like he posts pictures of books that he's not reading currently. He posts pictures of books he's read. He posts pictures of books he hasn't read yet. And I don't know why, for me, like I always like, I'm so like literal or analytic about it that I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not reading this book, then I shouldn't post a picture of it or whatever, you know what I mean? It's stupid. I just post what I want to post on there. I just want to start being more active on my Bookstagram. I miss posting over there. I miss posting videos on my BookTube. And I think the thing is too, like, for a long time, like a really long time, like today I posted 3 videos. Yesterday I posted 5 videos. I mean, most days I post between 3 and 5 videos on all my channels, or on most of my channels, except for my BookTube channel has like really been lacking lately. Well, for a really long time, I thought like it didn't seem that hard to keep up with it, and it really isn't. Like when I sit down and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do today, and these are the videos I want to make. But then I get into it, and I start thinking it through, and I get like real creative in my head, and then I start making notes next to my computer while I'm uploading stuff, and I get an idea for something. I'm like, oh, this is a book I want to write, and I'm outlining the book, and I'm just like I'm in creative mode. I kind of can't stop then at that point. And so then it's like it kind of goes late into the evening, and then it's like I'm not getting the things done that I want to get done. And I just guess I need to have a little bit more of a structured schedule, if that makes sense, which I said I was going to do in 2020 anyway, so I will do that. But Alex just texted me. I am getting stuff done. Like I am, you know, getting things accomplished. I don't know, like Alex always, speaking of Alex, he always says, he's like, you're so hard on yourself. He was like, you get so much more accomplished than most people I've ever met in my life. He was like, and then he was like, you know, if you're operating at 90%, he was like, most people are operating at 60%, and you're hard on yourself because you're not getting that extra 10% done. He was like, you can't get everything done, because I'll like make a list, you know, and it's like I want to get everything done on my day, and if I don't, I'm like, oh, I didn't get this done. He's like, babe, you're so hard on yourself about all of that. But it's none of it stuff that I feel like I have to do. It's all stuff that I feel like I want to do, that I love doing. So then I think that's where I'm hard on myself, because it's like I really want to do this stuff, you know? I will probably, and this is the acceptance I need to have, I will probably never be somebody that in my life just like, I never have been this person that's had like a schedule that I've stuck to 100%, and everything that I make a list of throughout the day I get accomplished, because like so many things happen throughout my day that I didn't expect, you know, good things, you know, and some was at the end, and some things that I, you know, have to deal with that I didn't expect that I would have to deal with, and all of that. So, you know, I mean, that's just typical life. But I get really like awake and passionate about creative things, like just talking about this Bookstagram. I mean, like as I'm talking about it, I'm like, all these ideas are flashing in my head, you know, or of like BookTube videos I want to do, all these ideas are flashing in my head. And you know, today I was sitting there and I was like, I have all of these things to review that I purchased that I have not reviewed on my review channel, and so I'm like, I have got to make a list of all of the things that I want to review, because I wake up, like somebody said to me, they go, why are you always pulling through a drive-through to do a review when all like major food brands are coming out with new items all the time? Well, first of all, because I like to try the new drinks at Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and things like that. Second of all, it's like, for me to film a review video, it doesn't take long for me to go through Starbucks and do that. And I love doing those videos, so it's really fun, you know? And it isn't super hard to do. Where if I, like, sit down and I'm like, okay, and sometimes, like, let's say if I'm gonna film a video about, like, I don't know, like an as seen on TV item, like, I have to be kind of like, the review channel, like, I don't want to review stuff that I'm not excited about reviewing it. Well, some of the stuff that I bought like a year ago, I was excited when I bought it, but I'm not excited about it now, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I need to kind of go through all of my stuff and make a list, and then like every day just like pick something and be like, okay, this is something that I feel kind of excited about talking about today, you know? Because I have a bunch of stuff that I want to review. People constantly reach out to me all the time to review stuff too. They're like, I mean, I get emails literally every single day from people like, oh, would you review this? Would you review that? And some of it is really strange stuff that I'm like, I don't know, like, why. Like, okay, I keep on getting an email from this company wanting me to review stuff for a bicycle, like a bike. Like a light and some other stuff. And I have like a bike that I bought like probably 8 years ago from Walmart. Tanya and I got real excited about these like vintage Schwinn's. So one night I bought this bike. I think I've maybe ridden it. Is it ridden? I rode it like one time, and it's been sitting in the garage with 2 flat tires ever since. Well, I mean, it didn't have flat tires right away, but now it does. I don't have a tire pump. So I'm like, how am I gonna do a review of this, number one? Number two is, I don't ride a bike regularly to do this review, so this is stupid, right? But a lot of the reviews of stuff that people like request and send me, I'm like, this would actually be, like, I think people would be interested to see a review of this, because these are things that people would actually use. A lot of them are cooking things, and I don't cook, but I almost kind of think that would be better. The fact that I don't really know how to use these products to then review them, you know? So I've gotten emails from those kind of people. I get emails from all arts and crafts kinds of things, and all kinds of different stuff. A lot of food people, like, wanted to send stuff to me, candles. A lot of people, when they reach out to me, will be like, it's kind of a template thing, and they're like, we watch and love all of your YouTube videos. And then they're like, we think that we would be a perfect match for a collaboration. Well, the word collaboration within like the YouTube world basically means, you know, like, you get paid a certain amount of money to do like an integration, right? Like, you talk about them for like a minute or two or whatever. Well, it's usually 30 seconds. My collaborations are usually like 4 minutes, because I can't shut up. And because I don't do a sponsorship unless it's something that I really believe in, right? And so I typically go on and on and on about it. But I get these emails from people. I'm gonna pull in here and read what Alex said. Hold on a second. He's showing me something. I don't know what he's showing me. It's a video. Oh. Do you hear my stomach? I'm tired. And I have to go to the bathroom, kind of, from drinking all this water and coffee and stuff. But anyway, I'll get these emails, and they'll be like, yeah, we want to send you this product, but then we have these 10 talking points. And they'll be over products that, like, I want to see if you text me that. They'll be about products that are always kind of interesting to me anyway, like, interesting because they're not things that I would typically review on my channel. And I'm trying to make up something. I don't even know what it would be, but like, okay, since I'm next to Sherwin-Williams here, like a paintbrush, or say, okay, I've never reviewed a paintbrush on my channel before. It's not something that I typically review on my channel. I would review a paintbrush if somebody wanted, you know, me to review one or to send it to me or whatever. I mean, I would go out and buy it and review it too if I thought that it was something that people would want to hear, right? So then they'll say, okay, we have this paintbrush and we have these 10 talking points and we want to do an integration with you. We don't do paid integrations, but what we do offer is an affiliate program. Well, on my review channel, I don't really, like, and then, so basically it is a sponsored video because you're getting an affiliate link, right? And I don't need an affiliate link for these things that people are sending to me. So I'll respond and I'll say, if you're interested in me, you know, I respond and I say, first of all, I think it's important for me to let you know that I only do 100% honest reviews. I'm more than willing to include some of your talking points in the video, but I'm gonna do the video the way that I wanna do it, you know, and I'm not interested in an affiliate program, but if you'd like to send me the products for me to review, I'm more than willing to do that. And I never hear back from them. Like literally, they never respond. And I'm like, okay, so you wanted me to do a video with your talking points so that I can make a little bit of money on an affiliate code. And I think that's where it's like, there is money to be made and maybe I'm just being stupid. Maybe I could be making a lot of money off these affiliate codes, but like really, like if somebody's gonna buy like a $250, you know, paintbrush and I'm gonna make like 3% off of that, like who's bankrolling off of these affiliate codes unless you're somebody that like, you know, I don't know, these huge beauty influencers. I have that Amazon store where I have like some things in there that I've talked about on my review channel. I haven't posted anything. I haven't put anything new in my Amazon store in forever, but like the meditation books, most of them that I read are over there, but just so that people can go over there and see what the book actually looks like. But when people buy stuff from my Amazon store, I think every month I get like maybe $20, not even. I think it's like between like $10 and $20 I make off that Amazon store, which is crazy to me that I even make that much money off of it. Oh my God, my battery is about to die on this. I have another battery. I do just say this though. I hadn't gone into my merch shop. So people ask me all the time, they're like, we want merch, we want merch, we want merch that says Beast, we want, my merch sucks. I will just tell you that. It's not good looking merch. I need to have my merch remade. If you're a graphic designer out there and really wants to help me with it, let me know. The thing is, I can be kind of like very specific when it comes to that. Like people will send me stuff and I'm like, oh, that was really sweet that you sent that to me. And they're like, okay, but if you want to use it, and I'm like, it's really sweet that you sent it to me, but I had something else in mind, but I can't really verbalize what it is that I have in mind, if that makes sense. But I would know it if I saw it. So the same merch that I've had up there for a while has been up there. But I went in there and I hadn't searched it, or I hadn't gone into my merch account for, I don't know, God, probably like 3 months. You guys, quite a few people have bought merch of mine. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was floored. I went in there, I was like, I cannot believe that all of these people have bought merch. And you know what was so sweet about it? Was in the last 2 to 3 weeks since PB passed away, so many people have bought hoodies and t-shirts with PB's face on it that say, it's PB the Flying Chihuahua. I cannot even tell you how much that meant to me. Like when I saw that in there, because it shows you like what was purchased, like it doesn't show you like who or anything like that, but it just shows you like what was purchased. And I was like, it was like, it's PB the Flying Chihuahua, it's PB the Flying Chihuahua, it's PB the Flying Chihuahua. I was like, oh my God, all these people bought PB memorabilia, which was so sweet. Like, I don't know, it just meant so much to me, you know? This Marco's Pizza is closed, but I can tell you if it was open, I could roll right in there right now and get a pizza because I am hungry. Okay, I'm gonna change this battery and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So if you bought merchandise of mine recently, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. I didn't even know anybody was buying merchandise over there. I never say anything about it in my videos. Like every once in a blue moon, I'll say, oh, it's real dusty over there in my merch shop. And I never push my merch. My merch isn't like, you know how some people have the pictures of it underneath their videos? I don't even know how to do that. But anyway, like this whole business of YouTube, like I'm not very good at that. Like I've just never been a great businessman ever in my life. But I'm just not good at that stuff. I guess I feel like I need to get better at that stuff. I know so many YouTubers that are really kind of like, they know what they're doing business. Like you wouldn't even guess it by knowing them, but they're very good when it comes to the business side of all of that stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not very good at it. Everybody's all cozy and in their house. Tanya watched, she and her husband watched Don't F With Cats last night, the first 2 episodes. And we were talking tonight, and if you've watched it, Deanna is like one of the women that's like, or one of the people that's like the investigators, or not investigators, but she's like the amateur sleuth. She refers to herself as a computer nerd. And so Tanya and I were talking, I was like, she is so us. And she's like, oh, she would be one of our best friends. She is though, so like us. And we were talking, and Tanya was like, okay, when they were like going down the street looking for that like staircase, and she goes, I totally thought of you and I. Tanya and I, back in the day, we wanted to open a detective agency, and we wanted to call it Moonlighting after the TV show. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I hope I can make it to the gas station. I drank way too much water today. I was like at Alex's brother's house, and I had like, well, it's back there. It's the gold cup. I can't reach it. Oh, is it right there? No, it's rolled underneath the chair, I think. But I had that, and then I had this, which has just a little bit of water in it. I had both of those filled with water, and I had drank a huge coffee today too. Like I had drank one of these, like, well, you know, it's the silver iridescent cup, with the like the, what are those, nodules or whatever they're called on there. But I drank that, and then I drank like 2 of these filled with water, like real quick. And I drank one when I was at his brother's house. And I mean, I was like, oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom like every 5 minutes. A lot of people are telling me now that it's like not good to drink that much water. Or like, I've read all these articles. I never know what to do. I never know what the truth is with health stuff. It's like, you can ask one person, they can tell you one thing. Oh, it's great to drink a lot of water. You should drink so much water. And then like somebody else will say, oh no, you really shouldn't be drinking that much water, but drinking that much water isn't that good for you. And I'm like, well, which is it? Like, I never know which one it is. You know what I mean? I've always heard that drinking water is good for you, but somebody commented on my video, because I did this Peterisms video, and they said drinking too much water is not good for you. Well, I don't think I drink too much water. I think you're supposed to drink, okay, 8 ounces for like every 10 pounds that you are, or something like that. So that would be how many glasses of water in a day you should drink. I said something like that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? But I had seen this article, I read this article years ago. It was when I read that book, Skinny Bitch and Skinny Bastard. They're basically the same book, but I read both of them. And it's about veganism, and it's basically like it's like how to lose weight and how to be healthy living, but it's really also a lot of like vegan, vegetarianism propaganda, but it's all like, it's in your face. Like these women that wrote these books, like they would make fantastic trainers, because they are like in your, they're like, you need to do this and you need to do that. It's very like in your, and I respond well to like that kind of like educational stuff, you know? And I remember there was like this whole chapter in there about aspartame, because, you know, I drink diet soda, and it was like how dangerous aspartame is, and that it's not FDA approved, and blah, 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 and whatever, and how like it can really like rot your system and all this kind of stuff. And I remember the time, because my dad and my stepmom used to drink Diet Coke like it was going out of style, and I said something, we were over at his house, and I hadn't seen him drink a Diet Coke in like forever, and I said to my dad, I said, you don't drink Diet Coke anymore? He always had Squirt at his house. Like that, I didn't even know anybody drank Squirt. They always have Squirt at their house. And he was like, Squirt and root beer. Those are like the 2 sodas at my dad's house. And he goes, no. He goes, we gave up diet soda like a year ago, 2 years ago or something. And I go, really? And he was like, yeah. He goes, do you not know how dangerous aspartame is, Peter? And I was like, well, I read this book. Or I think maybe I asked him. I said I had read this book, and I had said, have you heard about it? He goes, are you still drinking diet soda? Oh my God, your stepmom and I gave it up 2 years ago or something like that. I can't remember how it came up now, but we talked about the aspartame. It was after I had read that book. And he was just like, yeah, you shouldn't be drinking that diet soda at all. So... right now, I'm trying to not drink diet soda and drink mostly water. I think I said this last night, though. People always say, like, if you stop drinking diet soda completely, you would drop 20 pounds in a month. And I'm like, okay, I've done that before. I've done it for 2 months before. I didn't drop any weight as a result of stopping drinking diet soda. I mean, I didn't drop any weight at all. And I don't know if it's people that are drinking soda and diet soda like all day long. I mean, I've never drank it like that. I'm on vacation, sure. You know, if I'm on vacation, I'm drinking Diet Cokes like they're going out of style. I mean, true story, I am. But, you know, I mean, at home, I don't. Like, the only time I get, like, a Diet Coke, if we go to a restaurant, I will either always get water. Well, I always get water anyway. But, I sometimes will get a Dr. Pepper or a Mr. Pibb. If they don't have those, like maybe a root beer at a restaurant. At a Mexican restaurant, I always get a Coke because I love Coke at Mexican restaurants. But if I don't like get a soda like at a restaurant, we're not going to a restaurant. The only times I drink a soda are at the casino, or and not always. Or if I'm getting a fountain pop with Tanya. And typically when I'm with Tanya, I get like a bottle of water these days. I don't even get a fountain pop. I mean, maybe like once or twice a week, 3 times a week, I'll get a fountain pop with her. But like, when we say, do you want a fountain Coke? That doesn't mean like a fountain Coke. That means like a water. I don't ever get coffee when I go up there that late at night, but. So. I don't know. You know, and then I think about my mom. My mom was so concerned with that stuff her whole life. She was so worried about, oh, Dr. Oz said this, and you're only supposed to eat these fruits because, you know, they have probiotics or something in them or whatever those things, you know, I don't know. You're supposed to, Dr. Oz says you're only supposed to eat this, and she'd read this book, and this book said, you know, that, you know, blueberries are really good for you. It was like one of these kicks that she got into. I think all she was eating was blueberries for a while. You know, and then she'd say like, you know, you should do this and you should do that and you should walk. My mom walked every day for like 5 miles. And, you know, my mom was pretty healthy. I mean, like, she was a smoker her whole life. But like the last 2 years that she was alive, maybe longer than that, maybe the last 5 years that she was alive, the majority of the time, like except for maybe one night a week or every other week, she would only smoke like 1 cigarette a day, and she would save it until like she had watched the 9 o'clock movie that was like 9 to 11, and then she would watch the evening news, and like usually she would have like maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes. And she would have like a cigarette with the movie, and then she would have a cigarette with the evening news at 11. That was it. And she might not even smoke cigarettes then. I found, you know, like when she passed, I had found this pack of cigarettes, and it had been like, she had dated it, like when she bought it, because she was trying to see how long she could make cigarettes last. And she bought those horrible, like, well, I know half of you, if you smoke, probably smoke them, I'm sorry, but she smoked those horrible Mavericks. They taste horrible. And they're like real cheap. And my mom would drive all over town just to save money to buy these cheap cigarettes. And, so, you know, my mom was, like, incredibly healthy, like, other than that, and, like, she'd even had, like, chest x-ray, or not chest x-ray, she'd even had, like, a lung test done, and they said her lungs were completely fine, right? And so, then my mom gets this weird disease, and she's gone in 2 months, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I know people like that all the time. I have a friend of mine whose mom, literally, her dad had all of these health complications before he passed away. I mean, like the last 5 years of his life were just, he was riddled with health complications, and he was a heavier man, but he wasn't like ginormous. He was heavier, but her mother Like, I don't know that I've ever seen her mother, and her mother's was 5, 6, 7 years older than her dad. So that would make her dad was 81 when he passed, and that was 2 years ago, so he'd be 83 now. So her mom's like in her late 80s. I have never seen that woman when she doesn't have a cigarette in her hand. Like, seriously. And she looks 65 if she looks a day. She looks young, and she's never had, the whole time that I've known them, which is probably 15 years now, she's never been in the hospital. I've never known her to have to go to the hospital for anything. I think there's just some people that can do that, and there's others that can't, you know? I think that is one thing that most days I try to wake up and be pretty grateful for my health for that day. I've had so many friends of mine that have had like horrendous health issues, you know, and I just feel really blessed that has, I mean, I have epilepsy, but I mean, what, other than taking medication? I guess being overweight to the weight that I am is a huge health issue, you know? I hate to say it, but I think this lip gloss is gone. I don't think there's anything left in here. There's not anything left in there. This is the Manny MUA Lunar Beauty Lip Gloss. I wonder if it's still on his website. I wonder if you can order it. Where am I at on time? I wonder if you can order it. Does anybody know a good clear lip gloss? That's what I want. This was fantastic. It tastes like cake batter. Cake batter? Cake batter. It tastes like cake. That'd be a funny name though, wouldn't it? If somebody's name was Cake Batter. Anyway, that would be a good name for a book. Good character name. And she had a little bakery. Wouldn't that be so cute? Her name was Kate Batter. But if I can't order this, I think he hasn't restocked it yet. If anybody knows of a good lip gloss, will you let me know? I would love to know what it was like. I wanted to buy some of that Shane Glosson, but it was sold out, you know. I was on that website for, God, so many hours that day. And I didn't get anything, so I would love to buy some of that. I probably will try when it gets restocked, but I'm sure it'll sell out real quick too. Yeah, this is gone. There's nothing in there left. I can't believe that January is almost over. It seems crazy to me that January is almost over, and I mean, it's 19 degrees outside, but it sure doesn't feel that way. I really haven't worn a coat this whole winter yet. I mean, I never really do, and I have this hoodie on, and then I have my boat shoes with no socks on, but I'm not like cold. And it hasn't even been really, I mean, we haven't had any bad snow or any, I don't even know if we're supposed to. I don't know when we're supposed to have snow or it's supposed to get cold again or anything. I don't even know if it is supposed to. I think the last time I looked at the weather, it was like 40, 40, 40, 58, 40, 40, 40, 30, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, but no like snow or anything. And we used to get snow, like February is always like the worst month in Indiana. And then like March, back in the day, we would get like snow sometimes like the first week or two of March. We don't really ever get snow anymore in March. By March, spring is usually here. And February, like, is usually, if we're gonna get bad weather, it's in February. The end of January, February, but I mean like, this is not bad. I don't think we're gonna have any snow this year. I don't know what it is about Indiana that we just never, like Indianapolis. I know northern Indiana does, but like Indianapolis, we never get any snow anymore. I feel like we only had like one snow this entire year where it actually stuck to the ground, and it was like the week before Christmas, because it was kind of still on the ground at Christmas time, but haven't taken my wreath down off the front yet. Like we have it on the wall when you walk in, and I have that little tree out there still too. I kind of wanted it to snow one night, you know, like really heavy, and then turn the lights on. I thought it would be pretty, but I mean, it's so past Christmas at this point. It's like, I mean, it's more like winter stuff because it's like a wreath and whatever, but I just need to throw it out. I'll just put it in the trash this week. But I came up to the door today and I saw that wreath there, and I got so sad. Like, this is a good example. Like, I just got really, really sad all of a sudden. I looked at it and I was like, well, Pee-Pee, we got like one last Christmas together, you know? It just seems so weird. That I want, like, those days of summer that he just gets to run around in the backyard and, like, you know, Halloween and stuff. I just don't. I just can't believe he's gone. You know, I have such a huge faith in an afterlife, and I have such a huge faith in, like, I believe in spirits and them coming to visit us and stuff like that. But you know what's so weird is, like, I very, very rarely ever feel like my mom around me. I mean, sometimes I do, and I think sometimes I hope for it. But, like, with Pee-Pee, too, it's like I never, like, you know, I had that one day where I felt like there was something, like, on my arm, which probably it wasn't anything, but it's like, I don't know, sometimes, like, by having such strong faith and wanting to, like, some burning bush sign, like, almost kind of makes me question it, you know, at the same time. It's like, well, if I believe so much in it, then why am I not having that happen, you know? I don't know. I know it sounds silly, but I guess I just didn't realize how much I relied on that little guy, you know, until he was gone. Like, I mean, I knew, like, he was, like, my best friend. I would joke about it, you know, but I knew. In reality, that's really how I felt, you know. I'm not a person that has a lot of friends. And, you know, I walk around the house and I talk to the dogs. And, like, even now, you know, like, I'll look, you know, over at where we keep his ashes. And I'll, like, kind of talk to him and be like, you know, just say stuff throughout the day, but you can fill your tires for free here. Oh my God. I wish I had known. Free air. It's right over there at the get-go. That is really nice. I didn't know that. Free air. Fill your tires for free. Get-go. Cafe and Market, Rickers. All right, you guys, listen. I will be back in, I'm going to just run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Cold. Oh, I want to see what the weather's going to be like. Let's see the Indiana weather, shall we? My car says it's 19. On here it says it's 21 and clear. Okay, tomorrow, 37, partly sunny. Thursday, 38, cloudy. Friday, 42, 80% rain. Saturday, 36, oh, mixed. Snow and rain, 50%. Sunday, 35, 39, 45, 47, 41, 39, 42, 41, 43, 43. So rain that weekend of the first weekend of February. So no, it doesn't look like we're really supposed to have any kind of bad weather. Inclement weather, is that what they say? I don't see it. Oh well. That can change overnight though, can't it? Can't it? Can it? Should we go in and read some of the comments from the vlog? Let's see what people had to say. Vlog. God, out of the corner of my eye, I swear somebody was standing right there. Watching all these serial killer shows is scaring me. Okay. It's funny to me, I will just say this, when somebody like finds my vlog and they go in and they start watching it and then they comment on like things that I said, like this vlog is from September 13th. Tanya said, Patches is so cute, Melissa should definitely keep her. Okay, so Melissa texted me today. She took her for a vet appointment and got her all checked out, and then she was fine. And then she had her taken to the place, the shelter place. She couldn't keep her. She was like, I cannot keep her. I was like, Melissa, you need to keep her. And Tanya said, bless you, Peter, for rescuing the poor baby. Oh, thank you. Miss Slayer, hey girl, said, love Patches, glad you saved her. For a second, like, I literally am so allergic to cats, and so is Alex, but I was really thinking, like, maybe we should keep this cat. Like, maybe this is, like, a sign that we're supposed to keep this cat. Kelsey said, Peter, okay, first of all, Kelsey, I just want to say, and I think I said this on another video, I don't know. Your Holly Golightly Breakfast at Tiffany's profile picture is just everything, because it's one of my favorite movies of life. Peter, what do you think? It was one of my mom's favorite movies of life, too. Peter, what do you think about astrology? I kind of want you to download the CoStar app and read us your chart. What is the CoStar app? Amber said, you could change so many things with the condo that aren't so dramatic to you, but at the same time make it more appealing to you too. Take down the dated framed pictures. Take down the hanging pans and outdated old stuff in the cabinets. Move forward. Simple stuff like that. It's so simple, but will move you forward so much. You sound like my cousin Caroline. Okay, first of all, not to sound defensive, but the artwork in our house, the dated pictures, are some of my favorite things. They need to be rehung and we reframed a lot of them. The pans in the kitchen, I love that look anywhere. So, but we need to figure out like new pans or something like that. But the hanger thing, I love. That will probably not be going anytime soon. But thank you. And you're right. I mean, simple things in the condo would like make a huge difference. My cousin's always saying that to me. She's like, get rid of this, get rid of that, blah, 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 whatever. So, okay, Chad said, I was obsessed with Don't F with Cats. I also never heard of the incident until the documentary, and I had to Google it if it was even real or not because the story is so bizarre. Okay, I have to tell you, I talked to a friend of mine who's Canadian, and she's like, oh yeah, and she was talking about that serial killer that's, I don't know, what's her name, Sophie or something like that. Apparently she's really well known in Canada, and I never heard of her. He said, I did the Ancestry.com DNA kit and I got SHI from 2 friends for doing it. It doesn't bother me though because I found the results to be very interesting. And I even got on Ancestry.com and found out a lot of info, like the church my relatives were married in the 1600s is still standing. I'd like to visit it someday. Oh, that's really interesting. I'd like to do that too. Kayla said, you should read Joey Graceffa. I don't know what that means. His books. There's nothing wrong with, oh, that was my title of my video. There's nothing wrong with that. Kelsey's talking about meeting 2 different kinds of cats. Liz said, see, Peter, cats are so cool, are cool, but really don't mind me. I just love cats. Oh, Misha, hey. Oh, thank you, Misha. She said she was happy that I saved the kittens. Kitty Linda is happy too. Oh, everybody's so nice about this kitten. I read this one earlier about the kitten in the work truck. Oh, okay, so Emily said, my husband, who isn't a cat lover, found a kitten in his work truck 3 years ago, and we rescued her. Rescued kittens are always so sweet. Needless to say, he is now also a proud cat dad. If Melissa can't keep her, I hope she goes to another loving home. Let's see. YouTube New said, you should try Nespresso nicer coffee. I thought about that, actually. YouTube New also said, I watched Don't F with Cats. Amazing. Hope they don't F with dogs. The dog part in the movie was devastating. I mean, all of it was devastating. The cat stuff was just really sick, wasn't it? Caitlin was so excited because she was a 666th like on my last video. I freaking love you, Peter Monn! I freaking love you, Caitlin! Monica, I love you too. You didn't ever tell us what other celebrities I forgot to ask Alex. God, I wonder. I'm like trying so hard to think about other celebrities that I've met. I can't think of any. Okay, somebody said, I reuse all of my gift bags and tissue paper as well. I have a box full of them for all occasions. So tonight, the blue Amazon bag that I was sent with the gold ribbon on it, I put my nephew's toys in there. Those toys is Ryan's toys that I got him, and I took it over there. It was perfect. The bag was perfect for wrapping those, so those are really good. You should save those. Here's Melissa. What did Melissa have to say? Melissa said, I remember when I was a teenager, I and my friends would go cruising. Did anyone else remember cruising where you'd load into a car and just drive around your area, and you would make calls out to cute boys or girls and dare people to race and egg them on, but when it came to you checking out because you were afraid of being arrested, LMAO, God, and we'd have fake IDs and sneak into bars for like an hour, and we'd go hang out at the mall all day long. Nowadays, teens don't do anything. Okay, Melissa, were we friends in high school? Because that's like exactly what we all did in high school. I'm actually going to stop reading them there because I want to tell the story. So, the other day, I was talking on here. Melissa, thank you for giving me something to talk about on my vlog. The other day, I was talking on here about, like, what I did in high school with my friends and what we would do when we were hanging out and stuff like that, right? Oh my God, I knew that was her car. This woman that used to work in here, they told me that she got, I didn't even see her when I walked in there because she was like in the back. I walked in, I went to the bathroom, and I walked out. They told me that she got fired, and I feel like I should go in there because they told me she got fired, and she was the best worker that they ever had. I want to go in there and find out. I want to, because I used to talk to her all the time when I would come in here and get fountain pops. I want to find out what happened to her. I'll be right back. Okay. Now I got all the information that I needed to know. I love her so much, can I just tell you? She always was so nice to me when I come in here and get a bottle of water or fountain pop or whatever. And she worked her, I love that Paula Abdul, hey Paula, back in the day. I worked my ass off, Jeff, my ass off. But she did, she worked her ass off. She was always mopping the floor, cleaning the bathrooms, the counters were clean, the fountain pop area was spotless. It just was always clean. And I went in there one night, and there was this guy in there, he looked like a manager, but I guess he wasn't the manager or something. And I was like, he was like this older guy, and I thought I had seen him there before. And I said, oh, because I like had come in here like 2 or 3 nights in a row and she hadn't been here, and she used to always work through the week. And I said, where's that girl with the red hair that works in here? And he said, she doesn't work here anymore. And I go, why not? And he goes, they fired her. And I go, why? And he goes, I don't know, you have to talk to the manager. And I said, okay. So I was in here a couple nights after that. And this guy was in there, and I said to him, I go, are you a manager? And he goes, yeah, I'm the general manager of several different stores. And I said, it's none of my business. I said, but I don't understand why you, like, and I thought, you know, maybe something horrible had happened, you know. I said, I don't understand why, I said, I'm a regular customer in this store. I don't understand why you guys let that girl go that worked in here. I said, she was so nice. I said, she was such a hard worker. And he was like, which girl are you talking about? I thought, oh my God, how many people have you fired this week in this store? I said, the one with the red hair that's always working 3rd shifts here. He goes, oh, we had to let her go, and we can't tell you why, which I totally understand if they can't tell you why, right? So then they hired this guy in here, and I would come in here, and literally every single night I would come to the counter to, like, you know, get my fountain pop or whatever, and he'd be like this on the counter. I think I even talked about it in a vlog. He'd be like dead asleep at the counter, okay? I mean, dead asleep, and I have to be like, and he'd finally wake up, you know? So I went in here when I saw her right now, and I said, she saw me, she was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I said, where have you been? I said, oh my God, I'm so happy that you're back. I developed this weird relationship with these people that work in gas stations. If you haven't figured it out yet from this channel and my review channel, I become friends with the people that work in fast food restaurants, gas stations, and Starbucks. It's like they're my people. So anyway, they're so nice. I don't know. I just like friendly people, you know? They have tater tots at this, what's it called? $5 go bags. Oh my God, it looks so good. Tater tots. Anyway, so she said, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I said, where have you been? And I said, I was so worried about you. Because I told this manager that night, I said, I can't believe you let her go. I said, she was the hardest worker I have seen in any service station, gas station, across the board. I said she was always mopping the floors, fountain pop area, which that's a big deal for me, is the fountain pop area. I hate when you go over there and it's like a mess, and you know, it's always like dirty, and they have cups everywhere on the floor and sodas everywhere, and they have the, you know, the straw wrappers and stuff, and the coffee area is a mess. I said it was always spotless in here. I said the bathrooms were always really clean. I said she was, you know, always like, you know, doing what she needed to be doing, getting it done. She was always super friendly. She never complained. She wasn't just standing outside smoking cigarettes for 2 hours straight, acting like you're causing some problem because you want to, you know, come inside the store. I said she was so friendly. She was like one of the friendliest people I've ever met. So I got kind of like uppity with him that night and said all that. I was pissed, right? So I said to her, I said, where have you been? And I said, I thought that you lost your job. They told me that they let you go. And she was like, yeah, I was going through some hard stuff and I didn't show up for a shift, so they let me go. I said, you didn't show up for a shift and they let you go? She was like, yeah, I was going through a hard time, whatever. She was like, but they called me and they asked me to come back. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, why do they do that? I mean, you don't usually fire somebody and then call them and ask them to come back like months later, right? She said they can't get anybody good in this store. And she said, and all of my regulars have told them that they miss me and that I was the best. And I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, I told that manager that you were one of the best I'd ever seen working in any gas station. She was like, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. I was like, I missed you. I missed coming in here because I would stand in there and talk to her and stuff like that. And she'd tell me all about her life and whatever. And I'd tell her all about mine. That's kind of what we did, you know. But anyway, she was so nice. I'm so happy that she's back. She's like, yeah. She's like, all my regulars complained that I was let go. They were all upset that I wasn't here. Because it means just so much to me. She's like, I was going through a really tough time. And she was like, you know, I'm back on my feet now. I'm doing really great and whatever. And she's like, but that meant so much to me that all my regulars were asking for me. And I was like, see, we might just be people buying Cokes and fountain pops, but somebody appreciates us out there. She's so nice. A couple years ago, there was this other gas station I used to go to, this Thornton's. I've known like everybody that's worked in there. I used to go there on Thursdays all the time. I still know the people that work in there. There's two guys that one works the weekends and one works the week. But anyway, there was this woman that worked in there, and she and I would talk to her, literally. I would stand there and talk to her for like a half an hour whenever I would go in there. And I know my haters are gonna live for this, okay? They're gonna be like, this is so pathetic, right? But I don't care, you know, I meet people all over the place. So, and I want to address something that somebody said to me about not wanting any new friends in a second. This is such a Tanya, Jane, and Peter right here. I just have to say, this guy and this girl, they are getting their fountain pops. And he reminds me of me, and she reminds me of Tanya, Jane. But anyway, so this woman and I were talking, you know, and she said, she would tell me she was applying for this job. She was applying for this like factory job. She was real excited that she was going to get it. And, you know, I've had a lot of friends of mine that have worked at, you know, factories and online and stuff like that through the years. And she was going to, you know, she was excited about the sign-on bonus and all this kind of stuff. And it's a great factory in the Indianapolis area. And you kind of have to like know somebody or have family that works there to get in there. And so she was real excited about it. I was real excited about it for her too. So I hadn't been in there for like a week or something. I think like we went on vacation or something. I can't remember what it was. But I like came in there and she said, I'm so glad that you came in tonight. And I was like, why? And she was like, tonight's my last night. I was like, what? And she was like, I mean, this was like probably, there was a guy that this happened to too. He was really, really nice. He told me about his kids and all this kind of stuff. And anyway, he just had a really tough life. And this, like, the same thing with him, like, when he told me it was his last day, too. But he ended up coming back, like, 2 more times. But she hasn't. She's, like, gone for good. And, so she was like, yeah, tonight's my last night. And I was like, oh, my God. And she's like, I'm so glad you came in here. You were my favorite customer. And I'm really going to miss you and stuff like that. And, you know, and I got in my car, and I just, like, started bawling my eyes out. And at the same time, I was kind of like, what is my life that I'm getting upset because people that I meet that work in gas stations at 2 o'clock in the morning while I'm driving around listening to audiobooks are like leaving, you know, and like that's my social interaction. That's the part where I say that my haters will love that because I think I'm pathetic anyway, but I really don't care what my haters think. So take it and run with that. I know today I'm not pathetic. I think that human interaction like that is incredible. I think it's amazing, you know? In retrospect, I wish I would have asked her for her number, or I would have, you know, said to her like, you know, like, hey, let's be friends on Facebook or something and like, you know, go get coffee sometime or whatever. Even if it's not realistic, you know, I think I wish I had. I've had a lot of encounters like that in my life where, you know, I could have become somebody's friend, and I think that I was like just too afraid to ask. It's like, how do you ask somebody like, will you be my friend, you know? I want to say something. I made a comment on my vlog and I offended somebody, and so I want to clarify what I was saying. But I said on here that I don't need any new friends, and I said something to the degree of like, I just, you know, at my age, I've been through it all. I don't really need any more new friends and blah, 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 whatever. Okay. Oh my God, this is so weird. This place is called Yellow Dog Veterinary Clinic. And I used to have this little stuffed animal when I was a kid called Yellow Dog that I was obsessed with. That's so strange. I think like, and so the comment that I got, and I'm paraphrasing, it was very short, but the comment that I got, and it really stuck with me. Somebody said, you know, when you were making the comment about your friends, like it really hurt. I think any of us would want to be your friend. And so for you to say that you don't have a place anymore in your life for new friends really kind of hurt, you know? And like that comment really like hit me hard. Because I think sometimes I'm driving around for an hour or so at a time, and I just kind of throw out and make flippant statements, and I don't really think sometimes about what I'm saying, right? And I totally understood what she meant when she said that. Like, I can understand how that would hurt, that people invest their time and they see me as a friend that they watch on TV, and I feel very similar to you guys on there too. Let me tell you what I meant by that. Since I've been on YouTube, and also before that, I would say, like, when I was going out a lot and things like that, I have invested a lot of time and energy in getting to know people. And I don't look back on friendships or relationships and say, like, that was a waste of time, or I wish I had never met that person. I never think that way. I really don't. I try to, like, think about it from, my car feels like it's pulling a little bit. I try to think about, like, the good times, right? But for me, I am somebody that, A, trusts very quickly, and I'm somebody, B, that feels very deeply and very strongly for my friends in my life. I think anybody that is a friend of mine would say Peter is a very needy friend. I am. I'm somebody that calls, texts every single day. The small amount of friends that I have. I keep my circle close, but I have people that mean a lot to me. So if I have a friend in my life, it's typically somebody that I talk to literally every day, every other day. Like Melissa and I are not necessarily, like, we're really close, but we don't talk, like, we don't have to talk like that. But, like, we do talk several times a week, or we'll text, or we'll be in a group text or whatever, right? But other than that, like, my close friends, like, I talk to a lot. Like, I text them or call them almost every single day, and that's just how it is for me. And I've invested a lot of time in getting to know somebody. I trust them. I tell them personal things about my life. They tell me personal things about their life, whatever. Well, it's really not so much with YouTube. I would say it was more before YouTube. But, before I got on YouTube, I had never had online friendships where you literally are really close and you've never met this person before, and you're, having this really great friendship with them, but you've never met them. You don't really know them, right? And I think in 2020, that's not such a strange thing to a lot of people, but in concept, in theory, it kind of is, if you really think about it. I mean, you don't really know that person, you don't know what their daily life looks like, you don't know what their history is. I mean, the reality is, if I meet somebody here, probably 20 people that I know them, you know what I mean? Or I'm gonna meet people that their family or whatever, and be able to be like, oh, okay, well, this person seems like a pretty decent human being or whatever. Now, I have to say, almost all of the friendships that I've made on YouTube, even if they didn't end in a really positive way, I made great friendships on YouTube, and I don't regret any of them. I had, really great, most of all, I look back at it with sadness. It makes me sad, that they're no longer, but I'm not, like, angry. I don't know. I just feel blessed to have had some really great times with those people that I met, and, whatnot. And I feel the same way with, like, in my personal life. But the reality is, like, in my personal life, like, I invested a lot of time and energy with people, going out to clubs, going out to dinner, getting dressed up, going to events with. And when the events and the dinners and the going out stopped for me, like when I got back into a 12-step program, I didn't see them anymore. I didn't hear from them. When I would reach out to them, it'd be very short, back and forth. They weren't really that interested in being friends with me if I wasn't of that world anymore, if that made sense, which was a conscious decision on my part. So what I realized over time was that I definitely look at friendships in a different way than other people do, or that some people do, because I don't want to generalize that. And it was hard. It really hurt, Like, I was like, I want these deep, lasting friendships, but I don't want to invest 2 or 3 years, and this is just me being honest, I don't want to invest 2 or 3 years in a friendship for that friendship to fall apart, and then me invest 2 to 3 more years in a friendship for that friendship to fall apart. For me to, at some point, it's like, I don't know that I really have it in me to continue to start over friendships time and time again, okay? I think it's probably also important for me from a dating point of view to tell you this, because it will make sense then in correlation with that. When Alex and I were going through really tough times, and I was like, I mean, I was almost positive we were going to end in divorce. I was like, if we get divorced, I don't think that I will date again. Like, I just didn't really have it in me to start over with somebody else. And I mean, I didn't want to be lonely, but I was okay with the friends that I had. I was okay with, you know, being by myself. Like, I was like, you know, I've done this now 3 times in 3 different relationships and none of them have panned out. And if this one doesn't either, I don't want to get to know somebody else's family. I don't want them to get to know mine. I don't want to go through all of that stuff for those people to be strangers in my life. And it's, the thing is, no matter how I look at that, and I look at those past relationships as being like, I'm so happy for the time I spent with them and they're wonderful people and whatever, they are strangers to me today that at one point were the closest person in my entire life. And yet today they're strangers. I don't know them. I don't know their families. I don't know their closest friends. I don't know what they do. It would be weird if I did. I'm not somebody that can be best friends with my exes. I don't want to know that much about what they're doing. So, call that cold, call that self-preservation. I don't know. Like, I think today, if Alex and I broke up, I think I would probably take a very long time to just be by myself. Now, if I met somebody just randomly, I can tell you I would not be the person, and this is just me, okay? I have been blessed to have 3 amazing relationships in my life. And I dated a lot of other guys that were fun, you know, that we had good times together. I don't know that I would be somebody that would be getting on dating apps. I've never done that stuff in my life. I just haven't. So I would not be the guy that's getting on dating apps, getting on hookup apps. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, 90% of my friends do all that kind of stuff. More power to them. But that wouldn't be who I am. I just don't think I wouldn't be getting on the eHarmonies and trying to find somebody. I wouldn't do it. I encourage all of my friends to do it because I want them to meet somebody, you know. I told Sarah, I said, I'm going to come up with your profile for all these stuff. I'm going to do a video, finding you the perfect boyfriend and all this kind of stuff. But I just don't know that that's who I am today. I think, like, to some degree, it's like, I just would want to be with my dogs. And I don't know that I would be sad about it. I just would. Now, I'll tell you, my husband is completely different. I think my husband would be dating somebody within 24 hours. I really do. But... And I don't think that means that the relationship meant less to me than it did, or more to me than it did to him. I just think that that's how he deals with breakups versus me, you know? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. I said that to him one time. He was like, how would you say that? I would be so devastated if we broke up. So I'm probably completely wrong. I just don't know that I could go through that again and date somebody and go through everything of getting to know everybody. It's a lot, you know? And I hope I never have to do that. I hope Alex and I are together for the rest of my life. But who knows, you know? And so I feel similar about friends. But that being said, if somebody came into my life tomorrow that I thought... I've actually had somebody recently that, like, I thought, okay, this person could be a good new potential friend. We're very similar. We have a lot of things in common. And I think this person could be, like, a potential friend. Like, because I think to myself, is this somebody who I want to, like, invest time? I'm not the person that goes out to have coffee with 4 to 5 people a week. I'm just not that person. I think anybody that watches my vlogs knows that. I stay at home. I'm very isolated, you know, with my dogs and my husband and Tanya and Valerie, and that's about my life. I just, you know, go out to dinner with Melissa and Jason, travel a couple times a year. That's my life, you know? And, but at the same time, I was like, sure, it'd be nice to have a new friend or two. Like, I would never close that door. You know, if it was somebody that, like, I met and we clicked with, and I was like, God, I love this person. I'm so attracted to people's energies and, you know, what, like, being interested in their life, that I would always be open to that. I do make new friends. In recovery, I make new friends all the time. So, I don't know. I think it was kind of short of me to say that day, and I feel bad about saying that, so I want to apologize directly to that person. And, you know, I'm a believer that if you fall off the horse, you got to get back on it. But I've also been hurt. I've been truly betrayed by a lot of what I consider to be close friends. And I still look back on those times before that as being good. Like, I'm so happy that I have that person in my life. I feel blessed, you know? I try not to hold any anger and resentment in my life, but then when it comes to making new friends again, it's hard, you know? It's like, God, I don't want to go through that again, that pain. It's not even about the betrayal. Honestly, it's not. It's about the pain. It's about the hurt. That one day you're friends with somebody and the next day, like, they're not in your life anymore. It's like a breakup. And I actually think sometimes that, like, when you, like, go through something with a friend where they're not your friend anymore, it's worse than when you go through a breakup with, like, a romantic partner. At least in my life, it has been that way. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't had that many friendships that have gone astray. I've maybe had 2 or 3 total in my entire life. Now, I've had people that moved away, and I can tell you, like, I've had a couple people that have moved away that, you know, like, I'm literally hugging them as the Uber, I was going to say. I'm literally hugging them as the U-Haul is driving away, crying my eyes out, or, you know, at the airport. And, like, we're like, okay, I'm going to call you as soon as I land, and we're going to come out next week. And I knew, like, in my heart of hearts, like, I knew it's over. Like, it's over. This period of my life is over. Like, I knew that. Like, no matter how many times I visit, no matter how many times you visit here, like, it's done. Like, what we had before, it's no longer. Like, and that's hard. Like, I can feel, like, the emotion in my eyes right now as I'm telling this story, because I can see it in my head, you know? Like, I've had that with a couple situations where I remember the day that Sarah drove off for Los Angeles in a U-Haul, and we were standing outside of her apartment complex, and we had helped her pack, and this was like 9-10 years ago, and I didn't know Sarah that well at the time, you know, and we had helped her pack, and Alex is standing there, and they're joking with each other, because Sarah and Alex's language is constant humor, you know, like, always joking with each other, and, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional about this, but I remember she drove away. And just, like, he just looked so emotionally gutted, you know, like that one person in his life that got him, you know, like, that really got him was gone. And they talked all the time, like, the entire 10 years that she was gone. They talked, like, several times a week, and when she decided to move home, I was so thankful, you know? I was like, because for 10 years, I've been able to drive around in a car with my good Judy, like, you know, 3 to 4 times a week, and call her every day, and be able to drop by the kennel, and I've been able to see her and stuff, and Alex hasn't been able to do that, you know? And he's had lots of really great friends that, you know, were close friends, but nothing like Sarah. I mean, Sarah's always been his, like, die-hard, ride-or-die best friend, you know? And, like, I just remember the look on his face. I just felt so bad for him, you know? I'm, like, getting all emotional in this vlog tonight, and I don't even know why. I need to, like, pull it together. It stopped right when I was starting to laugh about pulling it together. God. I think a couple of the friendships that I had, though, like 2 out of those 3, I think it was time, you know? Like, I think sometimes you just kind of know. Now, I've had lesser, not so close friendships that, like, where I worked with people, and I would see them and talk to them every day and stuff, and then when I, like, resigned from my position, like, we didn't talk to each other, like, ever. Like, really ever. And I remember when I left, because I resigned, my last day was at the end of January, and my mom passed away in May. And I remember at the funeral, like when I gave the eulogy, I didn't even know they were there. But the entire team that I worked with, I had a team of like 7 or 8 counselors that I worked with. The entire team was there with my supervisor. I mean, I looked out, they were sitting, I can see them sitting there. They were sitting out to the left in the back. And I lost it, you know, like, I mean, we were so close for so long. YouTube can be real lonely, you know. I don't think YouTubers talk about that very often, but like, it's this lonely thing. And I think that like goes back to me, you know, like being with Pee-Pee and Boo and Tucker all day long. It's like, YouTube can be this lonely thing where it's like you're just sitting at home and you're like making videos, but it seems like you're making videos with a lot of people, but you're not. You're just sitting there making a video really by yourself, you know, and your dogs or whatever, and you go out, and that's why I go and do errands and get out of the house, because like I have to get out of the house and do stuff, right? But when you think about like having a job where you go to work 40 hours a week, you're literally spending more awake time with your coworkers than you do with your own family and friends. I mean, just put it into perspective. You're spending more time with those people that you work with than you are your chosen family and friends. So, if you don't get along with your coworkers, which I'm thankful that I have really great relationships with my coworkers, I don't really know why it didn't last after we left there. You know, it was the end of an era, kind of. We were all aging out, and we'd all worked together for such a long period of time. I was not the first one that left. There was like one counselor that left before me. One counselor that left before me. Another one who works with my friend Erin today, the one I talk about. She left right after me. And then there were 2 more. Now they work together. They left about 1.5 years after I left. And there's one that still works there. And that's it. No, there were like 2 more that left within like 2 or 3 years there. Is there 1 or 2 people that still work? I think well, I had an intern that then she became my partner, and then she took over the other person's position, and then they hired a guy for my position, but he wasn't there for very long. He was like only there for like 1 year or something, because I trained her for that position. Yeah, but like nobody's there anymore, you know? I mean, and the thing is, it's weird, is that like in the whole hospital, nobody's there. I mean, I think there might be only like 5 or 6 people that I worked with back there, but I mean, it's been, God, it's so weird. I'm coming up on it, right? So what, 12 years ago? It's been 12 years since I worked there. I've almost been gone longer than the amount of time I worked there, and it felt like I had been there forever, because I worked there for 13 years, just short of 13 years. So yes, I would be open to new friends, but I'm not open to trivial acquaintances where I feel like I have to keep up and do this and do that. I want to have meaningful relationships in my life. I don't have, you know, like, people are like, oh, what do you say that? You could live to be 90. I could live to be 90, right? But even if I live to be 90, I'm halfway through with my life. I don't have enough time left on this earth to waste my time with people that I don't matter to. And I want people in my life that know that they matter to me as well, and that we treat each other similarly. Like, that's really important to me today. And I guess I always have been that way, you know? Like, I really always have. But yeah, like, I don't, you know, the friendships that I had, I mean, I've also had friendships of mine that, like, it wasn't even so much, like, you know, part of, like, what happened with my coworkers was we got older. I worked with mostly women. They got married. They had kids. They started, you know, doing family stuff, like soccer practice at 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings. They weren't wanting to talk on the phone at night anymore. We weren't going out to dinner after work, you know? That's kind of the stuff that, like, happened over time. Like, I noticed that with Alex a lot because, you know, Alex is younger and he works with a lot of women and marketing and things like that. And it's like, okay, so he'll have a friend for, like, a year or two, and then she will, like, start dating somebody, and then she'll get engaged. And they're like, you know, they talk nonstop every night, you know, for whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, she's got this boyfriend, and, like, you know, I mean, Alex and I are so past that. Like, maybe that was like our year or two, you know, like it's the first year or two together, but, like, you know, we've been together long enough now that we, like, have space in our lives for other people, you know, like other friends, and like, you know, his friends and my friends and things like that. So it's like, I don't want to take anybody to take that out of context. So let me just say, no, we are not in an open relationship. Not that I judge people that are. I think you do what you want to do in your relationship. I have friends of mine that are in open relationships. You do what makes you happy, but we are not. Because I know that little soundbite can be taken out of context. So anyway, but no, we do have time for other friends in our lives and things like that, you know, and I think that's very obvious by the things I share in here. And, oh, Alex is out to dinner with this friend and out to dinner with that friend and whatever. And I guess it kind of makes me sad for him sometimes. You know, he'll, like, invest a lot of time and energy in a friendship, and then it's like, and I get it. I mean, I totally get it. You know, they'll, like, meet somebody, and, you know, they'll have a boyfriend, and then all of a sudden they're not doing stuff with Alex as much. And I don't know why we don't do, like, double dates with those people, but we just don't. I think it's a different kind of world, too. Like, people date, and then they just stay at home. Like, they don't really go out and do a whole lot. So, but I would totally be open to, like, meeting some new friends. I would enjoy it, honestly. But maybe not, like, 5 new friends. Maybe, like, 2 or 3 new friends. Good friends, you know? One of the things that's been really great for Alex and I was, you know, for years and years and years, we didn't have anybody to travel with. We would, you know, our friends would be like, oh, we're going here and we're going with the so-and-sos, or we're going here with the so-and-sos. And we would ask people, like, to travel with us, and they'd be like, oh, well, we just got back from here. We made plans here. It always seemed like people had stuff they were doing, and it just was like it never worked out for us to go with them, you know? And then, like, Melissa and Jason and Alex and I got really, really close. And the thing that's really nice about it is, it's not like Alex and Jason are close and Melissa and I are close. It's like all 4 of us are really close. Like, I'm just as close with Melissa as I am with Jason. And Alex is just as close with Melissa as he is with Jason. I mean, all 4 of us are super close and very interested in similar things, you know? I mean, when we go out to dinner, we're all talking at the same time, and, you know, and so, and we travel so well together. Like, we really, really do. And so, you know, we're going to Ultra, and then we're going to Las Vegas for Melissa's birthday and also for EDC. And we're going to schedule another trip before the end of the year together, hopefully, as well. And we love traveling with them. We have so much fun, you know. We love to, like, sit next to each other on the plane. And, I mean, we just have a good time, you know. And it's just easy. And I'm so thankful that we have a couple that we, like, it's really good for us as a couple. Like, one of the things I would recommend to any couple is get another couple out there that to be good friends with, like, as a couple. Because I think, first of all, I mean, Melissa and Jason have seen us fight, and we have seen them fight, you know, like, and I think it normalizes situations, and we've seen them laugh and make up, and they've seen us laugh and make up, and we've seen them give each other little gifts and vice versa. I mean, you know, just little things that each other does for the other couple, you know, and positive things and whatever. And I think it really normalizes the experience for each other. Like, when you have another couple that you're friends with and you're a couple, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is how we're similar, or this is how we're different, oh, we can laugh at that because we're not so different than they are, kind of things, you know what I mean? So I think it's nice. Plus, I think, like, when you are like Alex and I, and he has Sarah and I have Tanya and, you know, whatever, it's like, it's good for us then to have like a couple that we go do stuff with, you know what I mean, that we're like really close with, that's our friends together, and it brings it kind of together, which is nice. Because even when Alex and I would make friends, like in our first couple years together, like let's say if we met somebody together, like I can think of a couple girlfriends of ours that like we met together as a couple, like one of us would always be closer with them than the other. Like, this one friend of ours, like that just came to visit, that we ended up having brunch with, like when she came, like I remember when we met her, we both like got very close with her, and she would like, the three of us would go and do stuff, but she and Alex were definitely closer. And then our other friend who married us, like when we met, like she and I were much closer and talked about books and this and that and ideas, you know, and she and I have like always been a little bit closer. So I think like with having a couple that you're friends with, it's nice because then you like have somebody else, you know, another couple to do things with. And if you don't know where to find them, I mean, like maybe at work, if you work with somebody, you know, just ask. I think people are so afraid to be like, hey, you want to go get a cup of coffee, or you want to get, I mean, it's just like, it seems so socially awkward to do that, you know? But I think like to say to somebody like, hey, you know, like you and your wife and me and my wife, we should go get something to drink sometime or whatever. By the way, if you've made it this far in my vlog, I have I did an Adam and Eve sponsorship on my main channel. It's 50% off plus your first item plus free shipping in US and Canada. Valentine's Day is coming up February 14th, okay? There are a lot of things over there that you might want for your relationship. If you're watching this, I know a lot of couples watch this vlog together, and not just that, but there's a lot of things that are like kind of fun things, like games, and not like super sexual games, but like fun kind of things, you know, that are like, just go over there, you can check it out if you can look at it with an open mind. But if you do decide to buy something over there, buy it with code Peter. People are like, well, what do you get out of that? I don't get crap out of that, but if people go over there and they buy stuff with code Peter, they might choose to use me again and sponsor me again. So anyway, but I do think that it's important, you know, like I was talking about the 12 forms of intimacy on my drama channel the other day. I do think it's, you know, important to kind of spice it up a little bit, and I don't know, just some Kama Sutra oils or some, give nice little massages to each other, you know, I don't know, whatever. We used to always do those coupon books, Alex and I, like, you know, and like one coupon, we would make them for each other. You just take paper, you know, and like staple it together. But like one coupon, we would do nicer ones than that too. But like, and I actually think I bought them at one point from like Barnes & Noble or something. But like one coupon would be, or maybe it was somewhere more like Urban Outfitters or somewhere they have little, you know, little trinket gifts like that. Where was it that I bought those? I was going to say Cirilla's, but I think I've been to Cirilla's like once in my entire life. But we would do these coupon books where it was like, you know, like one free night of taking out the trash, and then the next one would be like, you know, something kind of romantical or whatever on there. I was thinking about this friend of mine that I knew like back in the day. This is so funny. I don't know what just made me think about this. Okay, this is R-rated, so if your kids are watching right now, you might want to pause this and just wait till later. But I have this friend of mine that my ex used to work with. They are since divorced. In a very tragic divorce, I must say, by the way. She is hilarious though, but like, I remember like we were out one night and they had been together forever. They were like high school sweethearts and they were married and stuff. And I said, it was like the four of us were out to dinner, and I said, so what do you guys think is like the art to like a great relationship? And she said, well, we have a deal. And I go, you have a deal? And she's like, yeah. And I go, well, what's the deal? And she goes, straight faced, right? She goes, I give him a BJ and he gives me a massage of a half an hour. And I go, okay. And he goes, I looked at him, straight face, and he goes, yep, it's worked for years. And I'm like, okay. I thought that was kind of funny back then. I don't know. Anyway. Oh Lord, the things I share in my vlog. I also remember we went to Las Vegas. The very first time I ever went was I went with him and she and her boyfriend, and they were like at these classes all day long. And so her boyfriend and I had to be at this pool, and he drank, and of course I didn't. And he got so intoxicated, and he like laid on his side and like at the chair, and like he got up, and he was like burnt on one half of his body. But I remember like the day that we were checking into our hotel, it was like in July, it was like 100 degrees, 110 degrees in Las Vegas. They didn't have our room ready. We were sitting outside. It was like 8 of us, 10 of us, eating lunch outside by the pool. This is at the Mandalay Bay, which used to be called, it was the hotel at Mandalay Bay, which is now called, I think, the Delano. But anyway, she had this huge glass of ice water, and we were all just sitting there, and like people were just kind of like waiting and whatever, and she all of a sudden just goes, she takes a cup of water, and she goes, oh, like that, and she poured the water like all over her and just drenched herself with this ice water, and then she like set it back down, and she goes, that's much better. She's so funny. And we would go out dancing with her, and she would do this thing where she would do this thing where she was like riding a horse. I don't know how I remember that. She was so funny. Do you believe that thing where people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? I've had a lot of people that have come into my life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, I think, you know. I look at my life, and I have a few lifetime people. Not many anymore. You know, when I look at my lifetime people, I think my dad and my stepmom, Caroline, Tanya. Those are like my lifetime people, you know. I mean, I hope Alex is for the rest of my life, but I mean, he's only been in my life, you know, for a third of my life right now, but it feels like he's a lifetime person. And then you have season people and you have reason people. And it's interesting because at the time that I thought people were lifetime people, they ended up being season or reason people, you know? I don't know. Never heard that before. The saying goes that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. A season or a reason? A reason, a season, or a lifetime. I love that movie Lost in Translation where, you know, Bill Murray befriends Scarlett Johansson. And it's kind of like this very short, beautiful friendship. He says something to her on the street at the very end. I know you can slow it down and hear what he says. I went and I looked at I found the video and I heard what he said, and I don't remember what he says now, but I love that movie so much. And I think that movie is so profound in that we do meet, it's like Bridges of Madison County, but that's a romantic encounter, you know? It's like we do meet people in life, I think, for just a few moments that, like, really impact our lives. Just like whenever Alex and I are on vacation, we always meet people. It's like these couples that we met from Minnesota, these 2 couples. Like, we saw them the whole week. We talked to them the whole week. They were so nice to us, you know, like, we were telling them about, you know, pee-pee and stuff like that. They just were so nice. And, you know, it's just interesting, I think. Like, you meet people that maybe you only know for a day or 2, you know, but maybe they have like some profound impact on your life, even if you never see them again, you know. I think about the 3 couples that we met when we were in the Dominican Republic on the boat trip that day. You know, we went on that boat trip, and then we came home, and we went out to dinner that night, and we all went dancing together, all of us. And then the next day was our last day. I think all of our last days, or maybe they left the next day, I can't remember. And I was kind of sad. I was kind of like, I can't believe we didn't meet them till the very end. And maybe that was our last day. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the vlogs. But, you know, I think about them all the time. We had such a good time with them, you know? It was such a fun day. And it was like, I remember it was like we were on this catamaran trip, and it was like raining in the middle of the ocean, and it was like, they painted it out to be like this cocktail cruise with all this, and it was just kind of a shit show on this boat. And we really became friends because we were all complaining together. And then we ended up having such a great time on this thing, and they took us out to this sandbar in the middle of the ocean that was fantastic. And, you know, we had this like lunch at this thing that was so much fun. And then they were playing like bluegrass music because they were from Louisiana, and they were all of them dancing. Alex was dancing with, I mean, it was just so much fun. We had so much fun that day. But I think what it really taught Alex and I was, and I think we almost kind of look for this now when we go on vacations, the ability to be open to meeting new people. And I guess maybe that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. You know, we never did that on vacations before. We never would like talk to people and whatever. And I think when you're at a resort, it kind of makes it a little bit easier because you're there for a longer period of time. You meet people, you see them, you know, every night, and be like, hey, how are you? You know, whatever, by the pool. I have to say, in my 11, almost 12 years with my husband, of all of our experiences, that probably, like, not just between the two of us. I mean, I had to come up with like 10 of my best moments with Alex. Like, yeah, that would be something completely different. But I think of like 10 best experiences, like that day was probably one of the top 5. I don't know why I'm wanting to get so emotional. Like, I can feel it in my eyes tonight. It's like, I just remember all of us like meeting up there after dinner, and they all like came over, and like we were sitting on this couch in that area, and like they all got drinks, and I had my coffee, this cute little coffee shop there, and we were all sitting there talking, and then we went into like the dance floor, and everybody started dancing and stuff, and it was fun. It was nice, you know, to just meet some nice people. I mean, I meet nice people all the time, but you know what I mean, like, to have that like kind of instant connection with somebody. And now it's funny because like when Alex and I go on vacations, well, it wasn't so much this time, but typically when Alex and I go on vacations, we make an effort to, you know, kind of like reach out and like talk to, if somebody's like sitting next to us, like a couple, you know, we'll like start talking to them. And towards the end of our vacation, we did that a little bit this time, but not so much at the beginning. There was a couple on the beach that we talked to, and I started talking to her about true crime stuff, but I don't even know how that happened now. That was on a day that it was like super, super windy on the beach. I don't know, it's just nice, you know, and like, I have vlogged for longer than I thought I was going to vlog for tonight. You know, we have another couple that we're friends with, and like, they met this couple, like when they were on vacation, they met this couple. This was years ago, like probably 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah, probably was 6 or 7 years ago, maybe longer. Because when did they get married? They got married like 3 years after Alex and I got together. Are they married the same amount of time as us? Maybe. But anyway, I think it was like on their honeymoon or something. They met this other couple, and it was like their honeymoon or whatever too. And they became like really good friends on their vacation, and the two couples, the 4 people, and they like now travel with them. Like 1 trip a year, they'll like schedule with them, and they like travel with them, and they're good friends. They talk all the time and stuff like that, you know? And so I think like Alex and I, having had experiences like that, meeting other people that are just really nice, and you have nothing in common with them other than you're in this place, right? And you don't really talk about work, which is really nice, and you don't really talk about like, you know, you talk about like dogs and kids and family and oh, you're from Louisiana, so how long have you lived there, you know, like stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, what do you do, you know, like, oh, really, like, oh, yeah, it's like all that kind of, who care about that stuff anyway? Nobody does, you know. It doesn't matter, because when anybody says like, oh, you make YouTube videos, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so what does that mean? Like, I don't really know how to explain it to people, you know. I don't always tell people. It's funny, like when I meet people like other places, they're like, you look familiar. I'm like, I do? They're like, yeah. It's never usually that anyway. They'll say like, oh, you look like that, Paul Hollywood guy on that Cake Bake Off show. Like, I get that a lot, actually. I love to travel. I'm ready to travel right now. This is where I kind of knew that I was really sad about PP. Well, I mean, other than I'm bawling my eyes out before I go to bed every night, and I just find myself kind of walking around the house lost throughout the day. I told Alex on Sunday, I said, I'm ready to go on vacation. He goes, we just got back from vacation. I said, I'm ready to get, I'm ready to get out of here. Like, I want to be on the beach again. Like, I just don't want to, I'm ready to get out of here. And I think it was kind of in that moment that I was just kind of like, I don't really want to feel. I don't really want to feel the pain, you know? I was just thinking, there's like, unfortunately, my husband has to go to work, you know? But, and I say unfortunately because if he didn't, then we could just take the dogs and drive down to Miami and we could get a little Airbnb, you know, for a month and just walk to the beach every day. And, I was thinking there's like this sandwich shop down there. It's called like La Sandwicherie or something like that. I mean, there's 2 of them, but we always go to this one. It's like, is it like 17th and Collins or 16th and Collins or something like that, or 16th and, is it Washington? But anyway, it is so good. It's these huge sub sandwiches. Oh my God, the battery is dying. I've been talking that long. I cannot believe I've been talking that long. They have these great sandwiches, and I was just thinking like, oh my God, that would be so much fun to like, you know, take our chairs, take the dogs to the beach for the day, get those sandwiches, take a nap in the afternoon. I would love that. But we are blessed that we get to vacation enough as it is. We're going to Dallas and then Miami and then Vegas. So I keep on forgetting that we're going to Vegas, but yeah, so we've got a lot of fun trips coming up. So a lot of things to look forward to and be excited about. And I just, every day I wake up, I feel blessed for my life. So I need to start doing the gratitude list. I said I was going to do a written gratitude list every day, and I haven't started that yet, so I'm going to start that. Maybe tonight I'll start that when I get home. Anyway, I'm going to get off here now, and I'm going to listen to a little bit of my audiobook. I cannot believe I have vlogged this long. I have absolutely no idea how long this vlog has gone. But anyway, it's been fun. I've had a good time talking tonight. That's a lot. I've talked about all kinds of craziness. Anyway, I want to make sure I get off here before okay, the battery stopped, so I just want to say, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make the most out of your day. Be nice to somebody else. Give somebody else a compliment and tell them how much they mean to you. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.